Right, 14 February 2024, and today I'm going to be giving you a quick rundown of all the important political stories that are taking place in Zimbabwe. I'm going to play for you a number of videos. There's been a number of very important announcements, so I'll take you through those, and we're going to do this very quickly because I still don't have power, but I've tried to address my lighting issues. So let's start with Nelson Chamisa, CCC president, very popular. Nelson Chamisa is drawing a huge amount of views in Zimbabwe. So over the past 1 week, Nelson Chamisa is the most searched person in Zimbabwe, more than usual. Everyone else is falling behind Nelson Chamisa. And I'm talking here of hundreds of thousands of searches on Nelson Chamisa. Everyone's attention is firmly fixed on Nelson Chamisa. People want to know what's happening. If you go on all the platforms, Nelson Chamisa is the most searched person, even internationally. And I'm talking here of, on Gambako Media, over 100,000 hits a day on Nelson Chamisa. Old stuff, new stuff, that's Nelson Chamisa for you. Extremely popular. And I know why. People want to know what is happening with this blue, the blue that Nelson Chamisa has launched. People want to know what he's going to do. And this is, I think Chamisa needs to take people out of their misery because they want to know what's going on. So I'm going to start with the tweet. Nelson Chamisa tweeted yesterday, "Love, hope, peace and harmony. Yes, the sun will rise again for everyone. Happiness is coming. Happy again. Keep strong. God is in it." You can see that Chamisa is no longer using Citizen Matter. Hashtag Citizen Matter is not there. So I don't know if that was a temporary thing or not, but let's keep observing. I want to take you to a video which Nelson Chamisa shared yesterday. I don't know if this is new, but here Chamisa is saying there will be no mass action. So remember, I've been saying that there's need for mass action. So Chamisa is saying there will be no mass action. So let's see him speaking here. You can go and see this video online. It's on a channel called Zim News Only.
Isusu tikainvaitwa kana kuti kukokwa kumuchato hakuna huku yakangwara inokokwa kudhina igouya inoziva ndiyo inenge first guest asi iri mupoto. Saka tinoziva kuti matsotsi edu aya ane chinyangwa chaanacho pakuda kuti zviite mhirishonga. Asida mhirishonga munyika muno. Isusu hatibhilieve nyaya yekuti party power ndezokurwira munofana kuuraya vanhu. Ours is not a power fight. Hatisi kurwira masimba, tiri kurwira shanduko.
Right, so that's Nelson Chamisa. There will be no mass action, and he's going to go through the dialogue route. He's continued to go through the dialogue route. The CCC is doing very well, and they have gone around the country. Chibaya is going around the country. He is mobilizing. You saw more video yesterday. I think that was in Gokwe, if I'm not mistaken. They're in the Midlands where they are mobilizing, setting up the new movement, which is not yet named. So, as I said, Nelson Chamisa is drawing massive numbers of views. So, I know there's a guy who wrote me and said, "Gambako, why do you like repeating yourself?" I want to emphasize, there is so much attention on Chamisa. So, if you're ED, you must understand that, that people are looking at Chamisa, and there's a reason. And ED must use this opportunity when Chamisa wants to talk to him, to actually talk to him. There will be a day when Chamisa doesn't want to talk to Mnangagwa, and he won't be able to get him back. So if I was ED and his advisors, I would say, talk to Chamisa right now and make sure that you get into an agreement with him. Then let's go to Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa spoke at the World Government Summit yesterday. I found that speech to be quite dry. It's got no interest. In fact, only 54 people have watched Mnangagwa's speech. I'm literally talking here of less than 50 people watching Mnangagwa's speech yesterday. This is crazy. I want to show you so that you don't think I'm lying to you. So here is Mnangagwa speaking. I'm going to play a small snippet. No one wants to listen to ED because he's got really not much to say. Let's see what he's saying here.
Are accessible and affordable to our people. Engagement and re-engagement with all progressive nations guided by the policy, Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none.
Right, Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none, except the Zimbabweans. Mnangagwa is an enemy to the Zimbabweans because he's going all over the country, the world, but he is not talking to the people in Zimbabwe. Dialogue is essential in Zimbabwe, and ED does not get it. He keeps going to all these countries, and he does not have dialogue in Zimbabwe. He says Zimbabwe is open for business, Zimbabwe is a friend to everyone and enemy to none, but he does not do what is needed in Zimbabwe. So you can go and watch that video. I'm actually pushing it there, but I feel sorry for myself because only 54 people have watched that video. It's crazy. Like I was telling you that hundreds and hundreds of people are watching Chamisa. Chamisa was trending on Monday for no reason. Chamisa just trending, and ED getting only 54 views. And this is what he said here on his tweet. Addressing the World Government Summit in Dubai, I highlighted Zimbabwe's economic resilience despite illegal sanctions. From food security to leading SADC's growth, we're now focused on building a tertiary economy through industrialization and rural development. What I found odd about this speech is that I do not understand what is the purpose of the World Government Summit. What is happening there? If you look at this whole World Government Summit, what are they trying to do? And this is honestly my question. I'm not being silly here. I'm saying, look at the people who spoke here. Kata Carlson, Mnangagwa. There's not really many, what can I say, people that are decision makers here. Look at this list. I'm showing you the people who spoke here. It's mostly Middle Eastern countries here. These are the guys who are here, and probably a few people from the UN and from other international bodies, World Bank and so forth. But there is no one here who is not from the Middle East. This is what I'm seeing here. So what is this summit? Right, look at the guys who are at the summit. What is this summit? And what is ED doing here? Very interesting questions. Is ED just going to any summit, like if he hears that there's a summit at a certain place and then he just goes over there? This is very strange. But anyway, it's not my problem. If I was ED by now, Zimbabwe would be doing well. The elections will be forgotten. I'll be focusing on internal, not this thing that he's doing. Like if he hears there's a summit in Dubai, goes there. If he hears there's a summit in Kenya, he's over there. I don't know. But I think that is a strategic error that ED is making in terms of what is the priority right now in Zimbabwe. ED totally in the wrong direction here. Let's go to other tweets. Then I want to take you to the news. Sikhala. Someone is posting on behalf of Sikhala attacking Nelson Chamisa. And Sikhala is saying, these are not my tweets. He says this every day. Then Blessed Mhlanga has confirmed the interview with Chalton Hwende. Hwende is going to be talking to Blessed Mhlanga on the 22nd. We're going to hear exactly what he thinks about Nelson Chamisa. And we're going to hear his relationship with Tendai Biti. You can go and check it out. He has also tweeted that on his Twitter. He said that he's going to be meeting with Blessed Mhlanga. And here is the tweet. If he has deleted it, he keeps deleting his tweets. So this is Chalton Hwende, what he said there. He's apologizing for keeping quiet all this time. And he said he's going to be talking about his relationship with the CCC, his relationship with Chamisa. And these guys, I talked to them. And they keep saying, I phoned Chamisa. I talked to him yesterday. Then I say, what did Chamisa say? They can't say what Chamisa said. That's crazy. Because Chamisa must say something to you that you can tell me. If you can't just say, I talked to Chamisa. What did Chamisa say to you? Then David Coltart said, the Carter Center has released its report on the 2023 elections, the most damning finding in the electoral process. So I'm going to ask the robot to read for you the Carter Center report later on this morning. I know most people don't like to read these long reports. I'll ask our robot to read it for you. Let's look at another tweet here. Who else has tweeted? Who else has tweeted? I want to see who else has tweeted something significant today. I think so far, those are the people that have tweeted. Promise Mkwananzi, he tweeted the praise of Nelson Chamisa yesterday. And so that is basically all the prominent people that you know. Ostalos, I haven't had a chance to look at Ostalos. Let's see what Ostalos tweeted yesterday. Ostalos is actually one of the most popular guys among the youngsters. I think he's doing very, very well in terms of everything that he's doing for Chamisa and his representation. So let's look at February 12th. That was the last time that Ostalos tweeted. I think he's in the rural areas. And he said here, happy to reconnect with our friend, Honorable from the Democratic Movement in Namibia, Honorable Anna Hengari. So I want to share with you the picture of Anna Hengari. So that was the tweet that Ostalos put out here. Anna Hengari. I hope that you guys can see the tweet by Ostalos. So I don't know if Ostalos went to the funeral or if he's still in Zimbabwe, but here is Ostalos with Anna Hengari. That is the tweet there. You can all. I can't check the tweets of Mahere because Mahere, she blocked me. In fact, I can check it, but I don't have to check it because it's nothing to me. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't. I only ask to get her to unblock me so that I don't. Let's say I'm on a Twitter space and she's in there. I can't get in. That's annoying. But I don't. It's not worrying to me that I'm blocked by anyone. Hope will block me like when you were supporting Zanu and I was supporting Chamisa, and he's never blocked me. So it doesn't bother me. And guys, Gambakwe is one of the most watched channels in Zimbabwe. If you block me, it means you are blocking millions and millions of people from hearing what you have to say. And it's your problem. It's not my problem. And you're probably the worst person to be a politician. If you cannot take criticism, if you cannot take the words of someone talking to you, then you say, I'm going to block this person. In my whole life, I've never blocked anyone. Chamisa has never blocked anyone. Mnangagwa himself has never blocked anyone. I walk in Zimbabwe, like, I come from the airport, I go in town, and Mnangagwa is never even looking at me because he doesn't block me. He knows that I'm talking. And if Hopo and Maher think that it's important to not hear anyone to be criticized, then it's the problem. It's not my problem, and I'm not bothered. Let's go to the next news. I want to go and look at a piece of news here. Guns were stolen. A gun was stolen from Mnangagwa operative in Bulawayo on the 28th of January. The guy is called Blessed. I think it's called Blessed Zvikaramba. If you go and look at the Newsday, you see that the guy left his gun in the car. I don't know anyone who leaves his gun in the car. It doesn't make sense to me. If you've got a weapon, you carry it everywhere you go. I don't know what kind of training the guys in Zimbabwe are getting. Because if you've got a weapon, then the moment someone attacks you, you immediately regret it if you leave that weapon. So if you've got a gun, let's say, you keep it on you. And I don't know why this guy left his gun and certificates and all that. So 3 guys broke into the car, and he's from Mnangagwa's office there. They store the stuff. Police had to help him to get that stuff back. So you can look at that story in the newspaper. Now let's quickly look at the press. The newspapers are not out for today. So there are some days newspapers are very slow to come out. So they don't come out, and I don't get to see them. It doesn't bother me a lot, but it's very important to understand what's happening in the press. So I'm going to take you through to the newspapers together. Let's look at the newspapers together. Let's start with H Metro newspaper. H Metro is very interesting. It's one of the probably most entertaining newspapers in Zimbabwe. This prophet, I tried to call him last week, right? Prophet Orang Obey Mukanairi. He says he's going to go to Mberi Primary School and kill the ghost. You remember that ghost I told you about yesterday? he's gonna kill that ghost. I don't think so. Then Kudakwashe Hwende is facing fraud charges. That is in the H Metro. You can go and look at the whole story there. And then what else do you see? Asha and his mama and Banner Boy there. So I think I've shown you enough. The guys from H Metro will probably kill me if I show you the whole newspaper. They won't be happy that I shared with you the whole paper here. Then you won't buy. But you can go and have a look over there. Then let's look at my favorite newspaper, the Chronicle newspaper, and see if it's out. Chronicle newspaper, Chronicle Zimbabwe. Right. Chronicle Zimbabwe. Okay, there's the Chronicle newspaper of Zimbabwe. They don't have today's version as yet. And then let's go to Herald and see if Herald is out. Herald Zimbabwe. Herald Zimbabwe is still, yeah, Herald Zimbabwe is out. So we got today's newspaper on the Herald. Let's see what they have today. President shares vision for future governments at the World Summit. Guys, this is lies. You saw that ED never ever shared any vision. Did you see any vision there when ED was speaking? There's no vision that he shared. So the Herald is lying. Let's go to other stories here. Politburo member tours Liberation City. I think this is interesting. This is a tour of the Liberation City. I think this is probably our first time to see this. Secretary General Obed Mpofu, Mdara Obed Mpofu is toured the site of the Liberation City, and then we also had Jacob Mafume. Jacob Mafume, it's crazy. Jacob Mafume is going everywhere with ZANU, and I don't understand it. Do you see Jacob Mafume right there with Obed Mpofu? It won't be long before he becomes a member of the Politburo. Then let's look at Botswana. Botswana Electoral Commission is in Zimbabwe. They are going to be having an election, and they are doing what is called a benchmarking exercise at ZEC. You should go and look at it at the ZEC website. I saw it yesterday. I don't know what the Botswana guys are trying to do, but they are doing benchmarking with Zimbabwe when Zimbabwe was said to have the worst election in the world. Do you see how crazy this is? Like, and then in terms of prices, they are saying price of basic goods expected to stabilize further. Guys, the Zimbabwe currency is crashed by 1,000% last year, and in January alone, prices have doubled. The Zimbabwe exchange rate has doubled or crashed by 100%. Then with the Victoria Stock Exchange over here, there's some listing here which shows the prices of what is happening at the Victoria Stock Exchange. So basically, the Herald is quite a good newspaper. I like it. I like the structure of the newspaper. I know that they basically don't share news the way that you expect, but they are fairly okay. They are fairly organized, and it's probably in the region. It's comparable to most of the other newspapers that I look at. It's not bad. And then let's end with Kamabiliat heading for Dimbare. So Kamabiliat is going to Dimbare, similar with Kudamahashi. The older guys are coming back to play in Zimbabwe. That would be interesting to have Kamabiliat back in Zimbabwe. Right, so I think I've given you all the news that you need. Sorry, I couldn't give you the Chronicle newspaper, my favorite newspaper, the guys who go on the streets. The Chronicle newspaper is probably the only newspaper where the editor is asking his guys to go on the street and get news from the street. The rest of the newspapers are now doing what we call desktop journalism, which is they just look at what's on Facebook, what's on Twitter, and then they post that. But currently, the Chronicle newspaper is doing very, very well. I now want to go into the tweet by Jennifer Ngazore. I forgot about that tweet. Jennifer Ngazore signed and is now a member of council. So remember, he's one of the independents from Chamisa who won in the by-elections. So I think we've given you enough coverage of what's happening across the country. We've covered Mnangagwa, we've covered Chamisa, Sikhala, we've covered Hwende, Coltart, and Promise Mkwananzi. We've also looked at what is going to happen in terms of mass action Chamisa said he's not going to have mass action. I played for you that video. And I do not think, I do not agree with Chamisa in terms of not having mass action. If I was the opposition leader in Zimbabwe, I would right now launch mass action. I will make sure that the stairways, ED is just having a free ride right now. I would have mass action. I'll have shutdowns. I'll have my people all over the region talking to world leaders. I will not sit there and let ED get away with it, especially given the fact that he's decimating the opposition, he's destroying the CCC, and Chamisa is in the process right now of forming a new opposition. This would be the time to pick up the momentum and to make sure that ED does not recover. So this is where I will be. I will make sure that Chamisa ED would not sleep peacefully. I want him to feel it. That is what I would do if I was the opposition leader. And at the moment, it's currently not like that. ED is just doing what as he pleases in Zimbabwe. Now let's go to the comments and close this up. Mkoma MS says mass action has failed and people are gonna get hurt. Gambakwe, were you in a special class in school? I believe that mass action is got a place in Zimbabwe, and I think someone needs to emerge who is going to show what mass action can do. The point where we've reached, we are just being tossed from the left to the right. In fact, if I had the time, I was going to organize the mass action myself. I don't think that makes sense, what is happening in Zimbabwe. It's crazy. Mkoba Absalom says, is it possible for you to cover Mramachina? I will do so, but at the moment, I don't have enough information of what's going on. And then, let's look at other comments. Yes, Faith says people should demonstrate. And I'm not talking just demonstration here. I'm talking about national demonstration, shutdowns, stairways. This is what we need. We cannot continue with what's happening now in Zimbabwe. Let's look at Jack. Jack says perhaps you're not also important to Mahere. Okay, I want to comment again on Mahere. Mahere is covered every day on Gambakwe. I've got people whose only job is to look at Mahere, Mkwananzi, Chamisa, Sikhala. There are people whose job is to look at what they tweet and publish it. I don't have to see Mahere's Twitter or what do you call Hopewell. I don't have to see their tweets. I've got nothing against them. And all I'm saying is, if you're a politician and you block people, that shows your level of depth. If Mnangagwa can allow me to work in Zimbabwe and I move around happily after I say everything I say here, you can't even take me criticizing you on Twitter or on Facebook, on YouTube. Imagine if you had guns, you would block me from the earth. That is exactly my point. These guys, they've got dictatorial tendencies. The guys who doesn't want to be criticized. And they don't only criticize, block us on Twitter. There are places I've gone where these guys have said, don't talk to that guy, to very important people. And it has affected us in certain ways that eventually I'm going to review here. But I don't believe that we should have politicians that don't listen. Do you know how many times I've criticized Chamisa? Like, literally, I come here and I say, Chamisa this, Chamisa that, for a year. Have you ever seen Chamisa blocking me? Or have you ever seen Mnangagwa blocking me, or any of the guys in government? We don't like this thing of guys who think that they are above criticism. Everyone is criticized. I'm even criticized on a daily basis. Like, do you remember there was a year when I went to Pretoria and the guys from CC, when it was MT Alliance, they were blocking me from entering the room and saying, hey, why are you coming here? Why did you criticize Chamisa? That is stupid. We don't want people who do that. And those guys, they've repented, and most of them have apologized to me. You cannot do that because that is the worst person. If you see someone who can't be criticized, is the worst person. And when they get into government, they'll start shooting people. I'm no longer talking about my head, okay? When I go to Harare, I'm going to find her and we're going to have a chat. I think Mahere will understand me much better. I'm actually a very nice guy, and she'll understand how nice I am. Too nice. I think in the whole of Zimbabwe, when guys actually sit with me, they actually realize that. In fact, people are surprised when they meet me. Is that the same Gambakwe who is on every day speaking like confidently and all? I'm a very, very nice guy, and I can eat pap with you or lunch with you, and you will love it. I think we are done here. It's been a great day. So let me go out. Let me see if I can replay the Chamisa interview, because I think it's important. And I think Chamisa is on the wrong direction in terms of mass action. I don't agree with Chamisa. And I know Chamisa watches this. So, Chamisa, I don't agree with you in terms of mass action. We need mass action, and we need ED to be under pressure. ED is not under pressure right now. He is doing what he likes. And I don't think that is okay for an opposition party like Chamisa's opposition party. That is for so many people to not have mass action. Because we want people to know that we've got an opposition party, and mass action is one of the legal and constitutional ways of enforcing your position. So Chamisa needs to enforce his position. We need mass action, and we don't need to apologize about that. Mass action is required in Zimbabwe.
Asi totoziva kana bhinya rakabata mwana haunosvika uchinorwisana naro kuti rokubayira mwana robaya iwe unotomeka shuwa kuti rarekedza mwana nokutaura zvine mhando. Ndo zvatiri kuita izvozvo. Vamwe vari kuti ade maenda munzira maita mhirishonga hatiri here sadza mutekwe. Isusu tikainvaitwa kana kuti kukokwa kumuchato hakuna huku yakangwara inokokwa kudhina igouya inoziva ndio.
Right, so I think that is what Chamisa is saying. He does not want to endanger people, and he does not want to fall into a trap. But I'm saying, let's do this thing. If Chamisa was to say today, one mass action, you will see what will happen. There will be a massive response. Chamisa, as I said to you, is trending. Just on Gambakwe, we're having more than 100,000 views on Chamisa a day. People searching. I've got a way of seeing who's searching. Massively popular. People are following this man. And Mnangagwa had 54 views yesterday on a video that he did at the World Government Summit. You can see the disconnect there. People don't want to hear anything Mnangagwa is saying, and people want to hear everything that Chamisa is saying. So mass action is the way. Chamisa, please help us. We need mass action in Zimbabwe. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and a good day to you.